Golf Smarter number 356, published on November 6, 2012.
Welcome to Golf Smarter Mulligans, your second chance to gain insight and advice from the best instructors featured on the Golf Smarter podcast. Great golf instruction never gets old. Our interview library features hundreds of hours of game improvement conversations like this that are no longer available in any podcast app.
He's thinking, this is perfect. This couldn't be better. I missed my first 10. There's no way I can miss 11 given the ball. And that's what the mentally tough athlete thinks. They always want the ball. They always see the next shot as an opportunity, and they keep on shooting. And people in golf that are not mentally tough don't do that. They're defeated when they get to the course. They're defeated if they get 3 holes in and they started bogey, double bogey, it's all over. They don't think that way. The more we help people in this program understand that the whole goal in golf is to be able to walk up to your golf ball and see an opportunity to do something amazing. The highlight reel is virtually never from the tee box or the center of the fairway. The highlight reel is from impossible situations. Tough lines, no view of the pin. You got to hook it around, go over something. You made a long putt to save par. You were down, but you weren't out. You came back and you made 5 birdies to finish the round. I mean, that's the stuff that highlight reels are made of. So instead of hitting a ball somewhere that you don't like and saying, this sucks or now I'm screwed, why not say, this is perfect. This couldn't be better, because when I hook this ball around this tree and it bounces between those bunkers and it coats up the cup, this crowd is going to lose their mind. And that's how a mentally tough athlete thinks.
Jeff Ritter's preview of his upcoming 52-week Make the Turn Challenge.
This is Golf Smarter. Each week we tap the best minds in golf to help lower your scores with tips, drills, insights, and advice. In conversation with course pros, architects, authors, players, teaching gurus, and coaches, here's your host, Fred Green.
Welcome back to Golf Smarter for members only. Jeff?
Fred, how you doing?
I'm doing fine. Hope you had a great week, and I've given you enough time to think about this. Because, before we get into our Make the Turn 52-week challenge, I want to talk a little bit about Square It Up, because I know that the Golf Smarter members all over the world are not only fascinated by your work, but there are also a lot of golf professionals that have discovered Golf Smarter. So tell me about, and tell us about Square It Up and what you're doing.
Yeah, well, Square It Up is a company that I started about 2 years ago with my business partner, Jeff Bolton. It's a website design, marketing, and personal branding company that's dedicated most specifically to the golf business, and even within that demographic, more specifically to the coaches out there. So we're branching out into doing some branding for golf facilities, and what we do is it's all small business related. So anybody that has an idea or a skill that's unique from a small business perspective, such as golf instruction, we're going to help them leverage that platform, to its ultimate potential. So it was something that kind of was born from my success using social media, the last 7-8 years. Jeff Bolton was a client of mine. He had run a very successful business in his own right and decided to exercise his exit strategy. And he was really passionate about getting into the golf business and doing something cool. So we started Square It Up, and we sort of launched on a larger scale last year during the PGA show. And now we've got nearly 70 clients that are working with us all over the world to build their brands. So, when I'm not coaching, I do actually spend a lot of time talking to PGA professionals across the country about how to, leverage their gift of coaching into something that's, fulfilling and worthwhile, both, financially for themselves, but also for the security of their families.
It's a good-looking website, man.
Thank you.
It's very sharp.
The golf business is, as you know, it's the entertainment business. And the thing is, what we're trying to do is, through really slick graphics and great connection points, be able to, get the consumer connected with, the unique skills of the professional. And it's one of these things where, for some reason in our industry, and I think it's probably the same in a lot of industries, when it comes to the presentation of the skill, a lot of people like to cut corners and do it themselves. And, you spend, a lot of time, coaches spend so much money learning how to become better coaches. They go to workshops and seminars, and if the golf consumer knew how much time a really good coach spends, trying to find every possible way to help them learn how to play better, they'd be really astounded. So what we're all about doing is about saying, we understand that you've, built yourself up into a pretty good coach. Now let's make sure that the consumer really understands how good you are and what that value is. And, that's where marketing comes in.
Fabulous. Well, congratulations again. It does look great. It's a great idea, and you've created a really good niche for yourself. So, again, anybody wants to check it out, go out to branding.squareitup.com or just type in squareitup.com and you'll get there.
That's right.
It's worth of you, and it's worth more conversation for us, Jeff. Cool. All right. So now let's talk about the 52-week challenge. Tell us one more time. Refresh our memory on what Make the Turn is and what you want to do for your 52-week challenge.
Yeah, well, the core initiative behind Jeff Ritter Golf is a program called Make the Turn. And as we said during the last segment, Make the Turn, it's a high-performance, lifestyle-based brand that really helps people get inspired and energized about their games and also their lives in the areas of golf performance, mindset, fitness, and nutrition. So what we're going to be doing to help launch the program and really get people excited about what we're doing is we're going to have a 52-week weekend challenge. So basically what people will be able to do is, and this will probably start, I guess most officially probably around like the first of the year. Fred, we talked with our team actually since our last conversation. We want to make sure that all of our ducks are in a row and we've got most of the content completed. But you'll be able to go to Facebook on a Friday, and you'll be able to see what the challenge is for that week. It's going to rotate in that order: golf performance, mindset, fitness, and nutrition. And what we're going to try and do is give people more of a sense of purpose behind the time that they spend on the golf course, and also in some cases away from the golf course as well. Like we discussed before, golf is such a tip-based industry, and as a coach, I've just gotten tired of listening to tips, from myself, from other coaches. I want the tips to add up to something that's a little bit bigger than just a one-off experience. So when you go to the golf course, if it's golf performance-based, you're going to have some kind of a drill to try and complete. It could be in the areas of power or putting or chipping or pitching or sand. If it's mindset based, it might be an attitude that you're going to hold for the day on the course. And as you mentioned, you wanted me to talk about some of the exact challenges, but it's all about creating a sense of purpose. And all these challenges are very doable, but they are challenging. And the idea is that if you participate, Fred, in this program for 52 weeks, and each Saturday you actually try to complete one of these challenges, the sum of these challenges is designed to improve your game, improve your mindset long-term, improve your overall health, and improve the way that your body performs and feels. So a lot of times when people start getting into a program, the size of the program is so overwhelming. It's like P90X. It's a great program, but man, you got to bust your butt for 90 straight days. I don't know how many people can actually do something like that. Yeah. So this is all about getting people excited and engaged and, having some little victories along the way that add up to something big at the end.
So if it's only going to be one day a week, I mean, you're issuing it on a Friday and asking people to do it on a Saturday or whatever day works for them that week, I'm sure. Whatever their Saturday is, they may work on weekends and Wednesday is their Saturdays, right?
Exactly. The weekend challenge is just, it's a good moniker for a program like this. And if somebody doesn't complete the challenge, it doesn't mean that the next time they go out, they don't actively participate or work on it. It's just sort of something we can put out every single week for 52 weeks, and it's something people can look forward to. So certainly they can choose the day that works best for them. But of course, if they don't complete the challenge day one, now they know that they have something to work towards, and they can infuse that practice session with that sense of purpose that we're trying so hard to supply.
So let me play the skeptic here for a minute on this idea, if you don't mind, without me offending you. So you're not requiring a lot of time in each challenge?
Not at all. Not at all. I mean, in the time that you're normally going to dedicate at the golf course, it's just adding purpose to that time that you're already setting aside, pretty much.
And so, that is key, is just adding a purpose.
Exactly.
So I do challenge the first 5, 6, 7 weeks. And now we're starting now the 8th week, 9th week now. I'm starting to get into the rhythm of each week. You have a different challenge, but you're going to be repeating these. What's going to remind me of what challenge 1 was when I get to week 10, and why that was important at that time, but it's no longer important?
Yeah, well, basically all the challenges will be listed on the Make the Turn blog, so you can actually go back there and catalog the challenges and make sure that you can reference them. They're all going to be important. And it's one of these things where just because you completed it doesn't mean that it's being left behind. So for example, if you've completed 5 of the fitness challenges, these are all things that are designed to be sort of combined together that can actually become a relevant workout routine for you. But right now, I'm not saying you have to get into a workout program. I'm challenging you to get up in the morning and learn how to stretch properly with one basic stretch, or challenging you to get up in the morning and do a balance drill, or get up in the morning and spend 5 minutes doing some kind of a strength-based drill that can be done in the comfort of your own home. And, life is all about building momentum. Anyone who's really gotten involved with fitness knows that. The first day you go out there, it feels like, the moment that you move or stretch or pick something up, it feels like your muscle's going to rip off the bone. It's a terrible thing. The first time you experience fitness, if you are unfit or if you're not conditioned for that. But the moment you start to see yourself becoming more flexible, or feel yourself getting stronger, or you don't have that soreness the next day, you can go farther and farther into the program. And that's where you start building that momentum where you really want to go to the gym and you want to push it harder. So this is all about creating challenges that are doable, but they are challenging. Revealing where you might have a deficiency, but once you complete a challenge, inspiring you to go ahead and tackle another one.
Wow, I thought I was going to be a bad guy and throw out something you wouldn't have an answer for. Now I'm curious. So we've got. Let's review what the categories of challenges are again. Mental.
Yes. Well, so we'll start with the golf performance, which would be the technical aspect of proficiency, right? And then there's mindset, fitness, and nutrition. Those are our 4 key categories.
Define mindset.
Mindset would be the attitude, which is the precursor to each and every action that you have throughout the day.
Okay. So golf proficiency, mindset, fitness, nutrition.
You got it. Golf performance. We'll say golf performance.
Golf performance.
Golf performance, mindset, fitness, and nutrition.
All right, let's start. I'm so curious. I want to do one challenge of each of these, and we'll cover the rest of the next 20 minutes. Well, let's do that. So I'm sure that I know that you can put 5 minutes into each of these.
Absolutely.
We've talked so many times. I know you can give me a 5-minute answer if you needed to.
Yeah, well, and some of these are going to be, all these challenges that I'm doing, they're going to be video-based challenges. So not only can you, hear what I say, but you can see me demonstrating the challenge right before your eyes. So some of these right here are going to be pretty difficult to explain, such as the stretch that I have going. But we'll do it slowly, and I'll do it along with you. I'll get there. All right. Okay,
hey, listen, I've done yoga for golfers a number of times in this show. we can get across anything in audio.
Well, cool. And the ones I'm going to give you today, some are more difficult. So the first challenge, which is a short game-based challenge, is probably not a challenge that you would start with, but I'm going to throw it out there anyway. So
I love it.
When people go out to the golf course, they buy a bucket of balls and they just start whacking them, And when it comes to putting, they'll drop down 2 or 3 balls and they'll putt them around for a few minutes and they say, well, I got my putting practice in. And also, if they do have a couple of drills that they've learned, those drills get stale after time. So one of my favorite drills over the years is it's a 4-shot short game drill. And what someone's going to do, and it's important that they can find a decent short game area to practice at. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be like it's one at PGA West or some Reese Jones masterpiece or anything like that. But we'd like to be able to set up 4 different shots: a 50-yard pitch, a 15-yard pitch that goes over a mound or over a bunker to the green, a 45-foot chip, and then also a 15-foot putt. So basically what they're going to do is they're going to take 10 balls and put them at each one of these locations. And the goal is to take as much time over each shot. So, for example, if you're doing the 45-foot chip, you're going to take as much time over each shot as if you were trying to get up and down during a round of golf. So we're trying to get away from that rapid fire aspect of practice.
Of the bucket. Yeah.
To try and practice like you play. Right?
Yeah, sweep and swing, sweep and swing, sweep and swing.
So,
Sweep the ball in front of you, hit it. Sweep the ball in front of you, hit it.
Yeah, so once you hit your 10 shots from 50 yards, and then hit your 10 shots, in the pitching, chipping rotation, and then you roll 10 putts from 15 feet, you're going to go back to these places and you're going to hit one shot and you're going to play that shot out to the hole. Right. So your goal to complete this challenge is to, number one, hit all of your shots with that encore style attitude, and then hit one shot, get all the shots up and down, and make the 15-foot putt. That's a hard one, Fred.
Yes, it is. So after you've done, so now you've given four different shots, taking 10 swings each, right? I want to reiterate this.
Yeah.
Okay, and then when you finish those 40 shots, you want to go back to your 50-yard pitch with one ball,
right?
And do the 50-yard pitch, but you want to get it up and down,
right?
I see. Then you want to go back to your 15-yard pitch and get it up and down,
right? So to complete the challenge, you have to get all 3 shots up and down and make the putt to complete the challenge. So that's a challenge that you could go out and do every time you practice your short game, right? So this is one of those challenges where I would be very surprised if people were able to complete it that day. But that's why it's challenging. So it's going to really show you how important short game is. It's going to show you what your deficiencies might be in where. But any professional golfer could go out and very easily complete this challenge.
I love this challenge.
Yeah,
I really love this challenge. I think I'm like gonna sneak out now that the sun is it's not daylight savings time. The local golf course, it's gonna get dark early enough where I can get to a hole that no one's gonna be around.
Right.
I'm not really doing that. And
actually, Fred, if you've got a nice, decent practice bunker in proximity, you could add a 5th shot and do the same thing for about a 10 to 12-yard bunker shot.
Okay. Bunker shot for just a greenside bunker shot, right?
Greenside bunker shot, yeah, exactly.
That's a phenomenal challenge. Oh, that is so good. Okay, 50-yard pitch, 15-yard pitch, 40-foot chip, 45-foot chip, 15-foot putt, and then a greenside bunker.
Greenside bunker shot, yeah.
Nice. Very good. Okay. That is a great make the turn performance challenge.
Yeah, and that is a challenge that I actually got years ago. I saw it in Golf Digest magazine. You got to give credit where credit is due. I believe Jack Lumpkin had I think it was a breaking maybe 190 or 80, and that was in there. But I think it's one of the drills that he's done over the years with his tour pros and whatnot, and also his clients. So I stole that from Jack Lumpkin, and now it's part of my challenge.
And I just stole it from you. I'll take full credit.
Perfect.
That's a good one. All right, let's move on to the mindset challenge.
Mindset challenge. Well, in golf and also in life, we believe that people are at their best when they feel their best. Would you agree with that, Fred?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So the way we understand performance, or the psychology of performance, is that your thoughts are where the whole chain starts, and thoughts turn into feelings. Feelings then become actions, and actions then become results. So as I'm working with my clients, I help them understand that there's a formula, which is, and this is not going to be proper English, but we say think good, feel good, play good. And then we say think bad, feel bad, play bad. So basically, how you think during a round of golf is always either elevating or knocking down your mood. So we try and help people understand that if they're going to be playing at the pinnacle of their ability, then they always have to be elevating their mood into a positive circumstance as much as possible on the golf course. So what we do is we have an exercise in awareness, and this is our mindset challenge, and it has to do with paper clips. So what we're going to have the folks do is they're going to go grab a handful of paper clips, maybe 20 to 50, and they're going to shove them in their front pocket. And they're going to tee off on the first hole, Fred. And every time they have a negative thought or reaction, either to a shot they hit or anything going on the golf course, they have to recognize that, take one paper clip from their front pocket, and they have to stick it in their back pocket.
And jam it in their legs.
That's right. They have to empty their back pocket, and they have to count how many times their thinking is killing their performance.
Interesting.
Yeah. And that's something that I do with all my competitive players. It's something that I do in all of my junior golf camps in Pebble Beach. And it's really revealing, how negative people are. And the thing is that I'm not saying that we're looking for someone to be positive all the time, puppies and butterflies and all that stuff. But the number of times people kill themselves with their thinking throughout a day and also on the golf course, it's astonishing. I could give someone 100 paper clips, and believe me, for them to finish 9 holes if they have a negative attitude might be a tall order. So it's really all about awareness, and the goal is to understand that you control your thinking, which means that you control your mood. And the more you control your mood, the more control you're going to have over your game and your score. So it's all about the art of awareness and being able to knock down some of that negativity over time. And of course, that's a challenge which can be helpful both on the golf course and off.
And an example, you're on the tee box and you, you hit a drive. You feel like it's a good drive, but it ends up in a bunker. And you go, "Oh, Tiger!" Right? Isn't that what he always yells at himself? Yep. Is that what we're talking about, or is it when you tee off and the ball just big right turn from the start? You just know as soon as you strike it, this is not going to be good. Is it a reaction? Is it a negative reaction?
It's a negative thought or reaction to anything. So for example, you could walk up to your ball and you could say, "I can't believe my ball is in this divot. Boy, I just got screwed. Can you believe this?" Right? Mm-hmm. That's negativity, right? And if you hit a ball and it goes out of bounds, that's negativity. And the thing is that, William Shakespeare, Fred, nothing is good or bad until thinking makes it so. So you have a choice. Every time you walk up to a ball, make a swing, see a result, you have a choice, you have a decision as to how you're going to respond to it. And the disciplined athlete, the one that's mentally tough, knows that when they have negative thoughts and reactions to outcomes, they are diminishing, knocking down their mood, which is going to affect their performance in the long run. So basically, there's an attitude which basically feeds off of this paperclip drill and awareness drill, and it's called the shooter's mentality, and it comes from basketball. And true story, so Michael Jordan goes out first night, during a 4 or 5 game series, whatever he's playing, and he goes out and he is on fire. Every time he gets the ball, throws it up, boom, swish, nothing but net. And I always talk to my kids about this. So I say, okay, now Michael Jordan goes out and he nails his first 10 shots. Nothing but net, nothing but net, nothing but net. What is he thinking? The kids are like, he's thinking, this is great. He's thinking, give me the ball. I'm like, yeah, that's what he's thinking. He's thinking, this is perfect. This couldn't be better. Give me the ball. I'm on fire. Well, the next night he goes out and he's playing the same team. Of course, everyone on his team is the same. Heck, the crowd might even be the same if they got season tickets. And he goes out and he has the exact opposite start to the game. Instead of making his first 10, he actually misses his first 10. Airball, brick. He doesn't have his best stuff. So I say to the kids, what is he thinking? And the first kid says, he's thinking, don't give me the ball. I said, no, it's not what he's thinking. He's Michael Jordan.
Give me the ball. Give me the ball. It's going to turn any moment.
He's thinking, this is perfect. This couldn't be better. I missed my first 10. There's no way I can miss 11. Give me the ball. And that's what the mentally tough athlete thinks. They always want the ball. They always see the next shot as an opportunity, and they keep on shooting. And people in golf that are not mentally tough don't do that. They're defeated when they get to the course. They're defeated if they get 3 holes in and they started bogey, double bogey, it's all over. They don't think that way. So the more we help these kids and also my clients and people in this program understand that, the whole goal in golf is to be able to walk up to your golf ball and see an opportunity to do something amazing. The highlight reel is virtually never from the tee box or the center of the fairway. The highlight reel, is from impossible situations. Tough lines, no view of the pin. You got to hook it around something, go over something. You made a long putt, to save par. You were down, but you weren't out. You came back and you made 5 birdies to finish the round. I mean, that's the stuff that highlight reels are made of. So instead of hitting a ball somewhere that you don't like and saying, this sucks or now I'm screwed, why not say, this is perfect. This couldn't be better, because when I hook this ball around this tree and it bounces between those bunkers and it cozies up the cup, this crowd is going to lose their mind. And that's how a mentally tough athlete thinks. And that's what we're going to try and do and start with this little paperclip challenge, is building the art of awareness, recognizing that your thoughts are killing you and count how many times that's happening. And then from there, be able to start knocking down the number of times you kill yourself until you turn yourself into a mentally tough performer.
I have actually multiple times. I know that when I have a bad first hole or I'll 3-putt a hole, something like that, it's like my attitude is, oh, good, got that out of the way. Now I don't have to worry about doing that again. It's not going to come back. Right. Is that kind of similar to what you're talking about?
It's a positive way to look at it. I think you could flip it around a little bit more and try and be even more excited, but it's a good start. It's not looking at it in a negative light. And it's funny because when I do this exercise with the kids at my camps, number one, they see how much they're killing themselves. And then we start working on some of these practices, such as the shooter's mentality. And the next day they could have come back and say, Coach Jeff, I can't believe it. It worked. I got over the ball. I said, this is going to be awesome. I can't wait to hit this shot. I got myself pumped up. I was relaxed. I was excited to engage in the shot. And all of a sudden the ball started going towards the hole. And it's just amazing how much control we actually do have over our performance. And we do things that we've been conditioned to do. And we don't realize that it's been fed into us through conditioning. And the moment you realize that you have a choice in how you think, and your thinking really does affect your performance, it's easy to start shifting it, more in your favor. But it is something that happens over time.
Oh, another excellent challenge. And you're going to do 50 of these? 52 of these? 52. Wow.
It's only 13 in each category. It was actually pretty easy to come up with a list, right?
Well, and as you have already admitted, you're not creating all these. You're taking them from other resources that you've used in the past.
Absolutely.
Great. Well, I just love them anyway. All right, let's move on to next would be the fitness challenge.
Fitness challenge. So when it comes to stretching, people understand that it's important to be loose and limber as to prevent injury, but also maximize range of motion to increase club head speed and power and all that good stuff. But instead of trying to do 10 different stretches before you go to the golf course or at the golf course, I'm going to introduce to you one stretch to start with that might be the only stretch you ever need. And it's called the world's greatest stretch, Fred.
The world's greatest stretch, Fred? Wow, what a coincidence.
The world's greatest stretch, comma, Fred.
Okay, fine.
And then exclamation point for enthusiasm.
Okay. Fred,
that's right.
Okay. We'll just call this stretch Fred.
That's right. It's called the world's greatest stretch, and it's actually a stretch that I learned in my time training at a facility here called Athletes Performance. I don't know if you've heard of Athletes Performance before.
Yep.
But Athletes Performance is it's an amazing place. It's not a gym. It's actually an off-season haven for the world's greatest athletes. And when I was training there, I was training alongside Nomar Garcia-Parra and Mia Hamm and Nikolai Khabibulin and Marlon Jackson of the Indianapolis Colts, and the list goes on and on.
Wow, very cool. And that's the Phoenix area, I'm sure, where they all congregate in the winter.
Last year, Athletes Performance turned out 15 first-round NFL draft picks.
Wow.
It is the real deal. So back in the day, Fred, they were actually located within walking distance of my lesson tee at the time, which was at Arizona State. They actually had a partnership with Arizona State. They built their training facility on Arizona State property.
Wasn't that the Solheim Center?
No, it was different.
Okay.
But that's where it was, and it was absolutely massive. And I got a chance to go over there every day before I started teaching and actually train with their trainers in a pretty cool program. And it really changed my life. And one of the things that we learned was one of these stretches called the world's greatest stretch. It was part of our movement prep in the morning before we actually went out and started lifting weights and doing all our strength-based practices. So if you were at a Major League Baseball event, like I know you're a baseball fan, or an NFL game, prior to the start of kickoff, or a soccer match or whatnot, you might see players out there doing their pregame warm-ups, and you might see them doing a stretch known as the world's greatest stretch. And the reason why it's called the world's greatest stretch is that within a couple of moves that are all linked together, this stretch hits your hamstrings, your hip flexors, your groin, works on balance, and improves trunk rotation. So it does all of these things in one move. So the challenge would be for people to get up in the morning, go ahead and take the couch and move it aside or walk out back and go ahead and try the stretch, which is going to really get them understanding more about, number one, what their limitations are, but give them one move that they can master to improve a lot of areas relevant to feeling better and also, of course, performing better.
Do we get to know what the world's greatest stretch is? Do we get to do it?
I'll describe it. So the first thing you want to do is you would want to sort of stand at attention as if you were in the military, right? So abs drawn in, chest out, shoulders back, chin up. And then you're going to go into a lunge. Most people know what a lunge is. So let's say you leave your left foot in place. You're going to go ahead and stride forward and go into a nice deep lunge. To balance yourself, you go ahead and put your left hand out to the side. And then you're going to take your right forearm and you're going to try and press it way down to the ground so that your elbow is right to the inside of your right instep. So when you do...
Okay, now I'm trying to do this, but wait a minute. So I'm standing at attention and I lunge with my left or my right foot.
You're going to lunge with your right foot.
Okay.
Right? And then you're going to go ahead and put your left hand down, sort of for balance. And now you're going to take your right forearm and you're going to try and touch it the whole way down to the ground so that your right forearm is right inside the right instep of your shoe. And you should feel quite a stretch in that left hip flexor.
Oh, that's good.
And also probably in the right groin area.
Oh, I like that.
So,
yeah, that is a good one.
So from there, you're going to leave your left hand in place. You're going to lift up your right arm, and you're going to reach it up and over like you're looking over your right shoulder. So now you're going to get some trunk rotation in there. Reach for the sky, turn your head to the right, try and look at your fingers as you reach over your right shoulder. Have you done that part, Fred?
I'm in pain today anyway, so that's not a great thing to be doing while I'm doing this.
The next thing you're going to do, Fred, is you're going to take that right hand and now put it outside your right foot. So your left hand and your right hand are sort of on the ground, even separation, but now your right hand is outside your right knee and your right hand is down outside your right foot.
I feel like we're playing the game Twister. Shouldn't you just say right hand red?
Yeah.
It's what it feels like.
Once you do that, Fred, you're going to rock back towards your left foot, and you're going to take your right toe, lift it off the ground, and try and bring it up towards your nose. And you should feel a huge hamstring stretch.
Wow. And this is what I love about podcasts, that I can back this up and go, okay, now what did he say again?
Once you do that.
There's more.
Yeah, once you do that, you're going to explode off your back foot, and you're going to try and stick your landing so that you're standing just on your right foot, and your left leg is up in front of you as if you're going to take your next step forward.
And go into your next lunge?
Exactly.
Wow.
Stick it for just 1 second. So the way that football players and baseball players and these other athletes do this, they'll actually go out to, let's say, the football field, and they'll stand on the goal line, and they will do the world's greatest stretch for 10 yards out. They'll turn and do it for 10 yards back. Right? So it's nice to have a little bit of room. You don't have to have that much room, but it's great if you can sort of link these motions together. So this is more of an active stretch versus a passive stretch. Active is moving through one motion into another, as opposed to just taking a body part, pinning it somewhere, and holding it.
Excellent. That's a good one, man. That's.
If you can learn how to do that, that is literally the only stretch you might ever need. And if you can start each day going out back with the dog or your kids, 10 yards out, 10 yards back, you'll be amazed at how much looser you are, how much more ready you are for the day, and over time, how much pain in certain areas such as your hip, your back.
Okay, so I'm going to beg you, Jeff, to make that the 3rd week challenge so that I can see the video as soon as possible.
So
and just work off the video, because you're right. This one, that was definitely would make a lot more sense on video. But if you take it slowly on the audio, you'll figure it out.
And I will actually send you some information ahead of time on that, because I've actually done that stretch a couple of times in a few different magazines.
Yeah.
So I can send you over those links, and I can also dig into my Athletes Performance video archive and send that one over as well. So Athletes Performance, they've influenced my life in ways that have been really profound and beneficial to me. And Mark Verstegen, the guy that runs that program, and the initiatives that he creates, not only for athletes but people all over the world, it's just amazing. I mean, that guy Mark Verstegen is one of my heroes in life. So I thank Mark for showing me this stuff right here, and now this as well is part of my 52-week challenge. So
you said you're going to send me that link, and I appreciate that. Am I allowed to publish that on the website and put that in the show notes?
Do it. Go for it.
Oh, awesome. All right. So, yeah, if that one intrigues you as much as it does me, then look at the show notes for the link, or just go to golfsmarter.com and click on it. It'll be right there. Awesome. Okay. And then our final nutrition peak at the Make the Turn Challenge.
Yes. So nutrition, we'll just start with sugar consumption. Sugar is one of those things that we are learning as a society that is absolutely killing us. So it's all about starting the day and just for one day, try and remove sugar from your diet through the drinks that you consume. So a lot of people like drinking sodas and whatnot. They're full of sugar. The sodas that are diet in nature, because of the sweeteners that they use, artificial sweeteners, might be worse for your health than the actual sugars that are part of the regular sodas itself. So what I'm going to do is encourage people to try two things. Number one, if it's going to be cutting soda out, I want you to try a product called Zevia. Have you heard of Zevia?
No, I have not.
So Zevia is...
Spell it, please.
Zevia.
Okay.
Zevia is an all-natural soda, which is sweetened with a product called stevia. And stevia is actually an herb that comes from New Zealand. It's entirely natural. It's actually sweeter than table sugar, but it's not actually sugar itself. It doesn't have an effect on your body's insulin levels, the things that get out of whack and lead to weight gain and diabetes and whatnot. So it tastes great. Kate Monroe, who as you know is my fiance, she's the nutritionist. She's actually sponsored by Zevia. They sent a truckload of this stuff to our house. She uses it in a lot of her nutrition consultations. And I used to be a big soda drinker. And I switched over to this stuff. And now on a Sunday when I'm watching football, instead of having a traditional soda, I have a Zevia. And it tastes great. It's got the fizz. It's a great soda replacement. You can go on their website, which is Zevia.com, and you can find a retailer near you. We actually get it from a place called Sprouts, which is a food chain here. I believe it's also at Whole Foods. It's showing up a lot of other places. I think now Southwest Airlines might actually carry it.
Wow.
As an alternative. If you're not a soda drinker,
Which I am not, actually. My sugar consumption consists of 2 teaspoons of sugar, not sweetener, but sugar, in my cup of decaf coffee in the morning. And that's pretty much it. I have a chocolate chip cookie at the end of the day, maybe. But that's pretty much it. So do I really have to give that up?
No, but you know what you do? Yes, you do have to give that up, in fact, because now you can actually buy, instead of sweet and low or some kind of artificial sugar.
Yeah, I don't like those. You
can actually buy stevia in powdered form or even in liquid form, and you can use it as a replacement in your coffees or teas or even lemonades. So, for example, if I'm going to have lemonade, we'll just take fresh lemons, we'll squeeze them, we'll add the water, we'll throw in a couple of scoops of stevia, and now you got lemonade without all the sugar. Same thing.
Wait. Stevia and Zevia?
That's right. So obviously Zevia is sweetened with stevia. That's how they got the name.
Okay, and spell stevia for me.
It's Stevia, and you can find a lot of places, any kind of health food store, even like a Trader Joe's, they're probably going to have it. But in the morning, what I do for my coffee, I like my morning coffee too, Fred, so I get some nice organic coffee. We make it in the French press, and then I have my cup of coffee, and I throw about 1 to 2 little tiny scoops of stevia in there. So now I have the sweetness in my coffee, but I don't have the sugar that raises that insulin. So
I will definitely look into stevia, and swear that next time I go to the East Coast, I won't go do a Dunkin' Donuts run.
So Fred, you can see that in just 4 weeks, you've got some purpose with your short game. You're going to the golf course, and you're adopting a mindset challenge that creates an awareness of how your thoughts are affecting your moods, which could help you on the course, but also off. You've learned the world's greatest stretch, so now you're starting to get looser. Maybe sort of get rid of some of that pain that you have relative to your stiffness, and then all of a sudden you've been able to cut some of the sugar out of your diet. So it's a 52-week challenge. You're only 4 weeks in, and look how much you've been affected already.
I like the purpose and awareness part, and the flexibility and less sugar. Okay, so I love it all. Whee! Awesome. Jeff, thank you very much for giving us those tips. And again, it's going to be on your Facebook page, right?
It's going to be on the Facebook page. I'll let you know because I've been on the show and we talked about it. I'll let you know.
Yeah.
Via email as soon as they're all ready to go so you can let the listeners know. But I'm excited about it. I'm so passionate about coaching, and I'm passionate about making a difference for the people that I connect with on the lesson team. And I really wanted to create a brand that had a sense of purpose where, I could look at myself in the mirror and I could say, you're staying on the path. And I never wanted to be the kind of person that would look in the mirror one day and say, how did I lose my way? How did I, get all this back pain? How did I, lose my strength? How did I, develop this negative attitude? How did I, lose my joy of playing the game? I never wanted to be like that. So, when people engage in this program, they're not doing it because I'm telling them to. They're doing it with me. It's a participation type thing where I want people to get excited about their lives through some of these things that I'm sharing that have been born out of the things that I'm excited with. So it's kind of like a journey we're all on together. And I want to hear about their successes. I mean, as people start engaging with this program, Fred, I want them to be able to, videotape themselves completing a challenge or getting excited about something or taking a picture of themselves holding up a product like Zevia and posting it on my Facebook page. So if we can kind of go on this journey together, I'm confident that, one little challenge at a time, we can make a big difference for the lives of my clients and hopefully for the enjoyment that I have for life myself.
Well, listen, I know since I have met Kate that you can look in the mirror, stand next to her and just go, yes. You are done, my friend.
Every day, and let's not let her know that she could do better. So,
well, you've got a purpose, so she's going to just watch you. She'll stay right there with you and encourage you to keep going, because that's the kind of relationship you have, and that's why I like you so much, buddy.
Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. And again, JeffRitterGolf.com. Also, the Jeff Ritter Golf is the Facebook page. Check it out. Check out the 52-week challenge. And not only respond to Jeff, I would really love the feedback as well to see how people are enjoying it and what they think about it. And encourage me. It will encourage me to, of course, bring you back on Golf Smarter again, because I have so much fun, and I learned so much from you, Jeff. Thank you.
Thank you, Fred. I love being on the show, and anytime. Love it.